to be able to grow internally as a person, there's many steps following it. One of those steps is just taking accountability for your actions and not being a victim of your past. I believe many people still to this day blame their past traumas or what they went through in the past to justify their actions now. And that is a form of manipulation to other people because you are manipulating these people, making them feel guilty, making them feel shameful. And you are really just ignoring your actions that you're taking in. You're justifying it, saying that it's okay to do this because I went through this in the past. Or for another example, let's say your partner ignored your messages. You do that again to them. That's kind of the way that it goes. It's a never-ending cycle, and it'll only end when both of you are destroyed with each other. Apart from that, though, many people still blame others, blame their past, to ignore their guilt, ignore that feeling of shame, and to protect their egos. The ego is one of the most dangerous things for you morally and spiritually because it has no benefit. The ego, you have to control your ego. You have to be self-aware of your ego, or else it's going to control you and it's going to make you feel conflicted and crave that sense of desire and pleasure. But people just really look to blame the past for these things. And once you start blaming other people, you're really destroying these relationships that you built, and you're basically using them as dummies from the way that they see it. That you use them as a punching bag. And one of these, I wouldn't say as an example, but a person who blames the past, I would use this great example of this show, BoJack Horseman. I'm not sure if many of you are familiar with it. It is a show constructed around this main character of BoJack, and we are shown of his past traumas, the stuff that he went through as a kid, the stuff that he went through as an ongoing star, and we are presented with him now in the present. Now, with the show BoJack Horseman and the character, we also had this side character, Todd. And during the later seasons, Todd talked to BoJack, telling him that he can't be repeating the same cycle, because I know many of you know this if you watch the show, that BoJack Horseman went through a traumatic childhood. He was neglected by his parents, he was abused psychologically and physically, and he got into an early set of addiction. But mainly, the show shows that BoJack does not take accountability for his actions. And in the early beginnings, he doesn't blame his past, but he doesn't accept what he's done. He doesn't accept all of these terrible things that he's done. He doesn't take accountability. More so, he justifies it because of his past. And Todd is basically telling him that he can't be doing the same thing. Can't be blaming other people. He can't be blaming his past. And that he has to accept what he's done. I'm kind of saying this in my own words because I don't remember what he truly said. But it really stuck with me because, yeah, Bojack has done a lot of bad things in his life. But what's even worse is that he doesn't take accountability. And that's stopping him from growing as a person. It's stopping him from becoming this better person every single day. And I think one of the greater things that we have to do in order to kind of stop this, the reason why I said kind of, is because there's more steps into it, but this is a greater step. One of the only steps that can be great is to really let go of your ego. And I know many of you individuals have this sort of obsession with your ego, but the ego is not something that you want in your life. The ego is something that wants to control, that wants to take all of these things for what they feel like now, not caring about the future. They only want it for the now. They want that feeling. And it's just making you feel, well, it's not making you feel, it's making you more of a, I would say, a self-centered person. Because, look, I had this problem too. I used to blame my past for the reasons why I acted out, for the reasons why I said all of these bad things to these other people. And I never took accountability for it. And so I was always conflicted. I was always being a victim of my own past. And I never grew. I never healed from this eternal wounds. I said this because I don't really know how to use any of these things. But I never really grew as a person because I was always a victim of my own past. I always thought I was a victim. But really, being a victim is definitely not something you want to do, because you are basically attracting all of these things that happen to you. You are just you're seeing all of the sides. You're seeing all of the sides for a reason, becoming a victim. And I went off topic. I was talking about victim, but like, yes, you're just making yourself becoming a victim of your own past again and again and again. It's gonna be a cycle that you can't escape from unless you be aware of what you're doing is wrong. If you know what you're doing is wrong, okay, change it. Change it, because you are ruining your relationships with other people. These people that you can talk to about your problems, these people that you can confess to and get advice from, but you're using them as a punching bag. You're using them as a trash bag, for another example. Not knowing that these people can help you, that these people can be a good person to talk to. And really, you have to realize that you have to let go of that ego. Stop being so defensive. Stop being so self-absorbed. Because it's not going to help you at the end of the day. You're going to feel even more guilt. You're going to feel even more confliction from blaming the past, blaming these people whom you may love or having a relationship with. My stutter is like so bad. Oh my goodness. But yeah, the steps that you have to take in order to not blame others is to accept that it's a big portion of these things. You have to accept these actions that you do. You have to accept that you are at fault. And really the majority of it is to control your ego and let go of it. Let go meaning the sense of don't let it consume you, don't let it control you. Because the ego would always, I always see the ego as the devil, since it is telling you all of these desires and all of these pleasures, all of these temptations. And you have to control it. You have to not give attention to it. And you could see it this way, you can see it the other way. It doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is to control your ego, to not let it get in the way of your self-growth, your self-love, and all of these things, and your peace. Your peace. I'm not sure what you can take off from this video today. I was kind of rambling a lot. I'm not sure if it made any sense. I'm not sure if what I said made sense or what I said did make any sense. But I'm hoping it did. I'm hoping that you understood something, that blaming your past, blaming these people is not going to help you at the end of the day. It's going to make it worse. You acting like a victim of your past is only going to make it a irreversible cycle. And unless you are aware of it and you know you can control it, is where it stops. You have to let go of your ego, because you're ruining all of these relationships just for your ego. It's not worth it at the end of the day. It's not going to help you. It's not going to make you feel better. It's going to make you feel worse. So you have to let go of that ego. You have to destroy your ego. And another thing as to, you need people to talk to. You need someone to talk to about your problems. And you could talk to yourself. You could find out why you're acting like this, why you're having all of these defense mechanisms, these trauma responses. It could be a trauma response to be the reason why you are so quick to defend yourself, so quick to blame something in order to ignore the shame and guilt. You just have to really observe all of these actions that you've done and ask yourself, what was the reason for me to do these things? What was the reason for me to feel this way? And from that, we can move forward and solve and accept. And that's how we grow as individuals. But yeah, thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm not gonna be posting as often. I'm not sure if many of you watch these videos to completion, but I'm not going to be posting as often because of school, because of all of these assignments, and I'm just really busy now. But yet again, have a good day. I hope you learned something, and yeah, thank you for watching.